Oh snap. Hoobin, heebin, globbin, globin. What's up everybody, Major Krim here for Sleepless for the Week, and today I want to talk to you guys about live action anime adaptations. So I know this can be a touchy subject for a lot of people because a lot of people don't like live action adaptations when it comes to comic books, books in general, or manga or anime. Some people are very adamant about not even having some anime made from manga, but live action adaptations always seem to come with a stigma, especially if you are dealing with like video games, for instance. Video games have a very bad reputation of having a live action adaptation made from it. And same thing goes for comic book movies and anime, but not as much. And I think we're starting to see anime become more popular, and that's why I wanted to talk about this specifically, because the fan bases seem to be one side or the other. You either have people who are a very small group who are all for it, you have another small group who are kind of in the medium who critique it, but also are kind of for it because they want to see it progress. And then there are a large number of people in the communities that just hate it. It's just they're hating to hate on it, I feel. And I feel like they're mad for no reason. And here's my reasonings why I think that way. Over the years, we've seen great live action adaptations start to spring up and to gain traction. Marvel in their cinematic universe, what they've done for comic book movies has been amazing. They may not always be directly source material related, but they were able to take their content and turn it into a live action feature and make an entire universe out of it, to make an entire movie saga out of it, and a cinematic masterpiece in my opinion, because it's really hard to capture that, and we're starting to see DC struggle with that. Hopefully they can make up with Wonder Woman and Justice League. But with that being said, basically that's kind of where it's at. We've got Marvel who does the cinematic universe and they do a great job at that. People love it. Some people still hate it, some people are still critical on it, but I for one have embraced Marvel and I'm really liking what they're doing, and I think they're one of the best. You go back a while back to Lord of the Rings, one of the closest adaptations I can think of a book series, especially of a fantasy book series, except for baby Game of Thrones. And Game of Thrones is working directly with the creator in a way to create those episodes and make that TV show as close to the source material as possible. But these things are very rare and they're very hard to get to fruition because there is normally a lot of backlash. There's normally sometimes it goes into the wrong hands and the wrong person gets the adaptation because the studio that bought the rights know it makes money and they're just going to out a story or a movie or a TV show just to make some money, and we all know how that goes. It doesn't go well. So please let me just phrase here that I understand the haters. I understand where you're coming from. I understand wanting to hate on something as soon as you hear about it, like Death Note live action series. Apologize, because the live action movies were already made, but the live action Death Note TV Netflix show, everyone's just pitchforks and hate like right off the bat. Same thing with the Ghost in the Shell movie. Pitchforks came out there and people just wanted to hate on that movie so bad. Here's where I think that's bad. Some people have good opinions on why they hate this, and they want it to be better. They love the source material a lot, and they're passionate about it because they are a fan. They want to see the best that a production company has to offer when covering their favorite source material, covering their favorite anime or their favorite manga. We all want that. Deep down inside, we all want it to be exactly like the source material. However, adaptations never go that way. Usually what we end up getting is a big studio willing to give somebody money, and hopefully the person that they give that money to is someone that is a fan of the source material. That's where you find some magic. That's when you find something that's usually decent when it comes out. And I am a very hopeful, optimistic, positive person. So when these things happen, when these things come out, I take it with a grain of salt and I wait to see how it's done. I saw Ghost in the Shell. I loved it. I'll link to this, my review in the description box below. Spoiler free, by the way. But I loved Ghost in the Shell. I thought it was a great adaptation, a great version of Ghost in the Shell. And without it, we wouldn't have a new anime coming out. We wouldn't have as much traction towards Ghost in the Shell as we did before. You know, we had that Arise show, and we had some new stuff happening, and it was okay. But I'm ready for some old school major, and I think we're going to start getting that with this newfound attraction towards Ghost in the Shell. This movie has spurred people getting interested, not only just in Ghost in the Shell, but in anime in general. And isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we've wanted for so long? We've been waiting for anime to make that jump, kind of like how comic books made that jump. How Marvel has turned it into, hey, you know, we can't make it exactly like the comic book, but if we at least do as close to the source material as possible, or at least do it very well inspired by, with directors and writers and producers that have a passion for this type of content, then we can make something good out of it. And I feel like that's what we're at the edge of seeing that with anime. Just seeing Ghost in the Shell alone proves that we're getting closer to that. And I, for one, support that. I want to see more of it. It's flawed. It's flawed, of course. It's not perfect. I'm not saying that it's the best adaptation that there ever could be of Ghost in the Shell. I think there is room for more adaptations. I think there's room for more of this. And we can't get more if we keep bashing it. I am all for being critical. I am all for feedback and giving opinions and things like that. But I am not for trying to crush something just because we don't like it. Like, could be that they don't like the actors or actresses portrayed. It could be that they don't like the director that's doing it. But the funny thing is that a lot of times now, it's rare to see these scripts go to someone who isn't a fan of the source material. It still happens, and those I am pretty critical of. If it's a studio just selling a script to shit out a movie or TV show, that I have an issue with. When it's going to a director who actually enjoys the source material, who is a fan of the source material, despite what that director has made prior. That director could have made complete garbage movies before. But the fact that he is stating that he's a fan of the source material of that anime makes me interested, because I want to know what he can do behind that. Because I, for one, if I was given money to make a film adaptation of one of my favorite animes, I would hop on that in a heartbeat. I would love to have that opportunity to try to encapsulate and envision what my favorite anime would be live action on the screen right there in front of me, what I would want to see. But at the same time, you have things that come into play, like you have to make sure that not only are you getting the source material right or sticking close enough to it so the fans will enjoy it, but you also have to make it to where it's not a complete jumbled mess for a newcomer. You know, you could throw in so many different types of scenarios and settings that and terms that fans would get, but newcomers may be clueless on. You have to find a way to bridge the gap. And if we don't find a way to bridge the gap, we won't see better adaptations in the future. So what do you think, guys? What are your opinions? I, for one, am hopeful, and I'm always going to be critical, but yet positive towards things like this, because I want to see them evolve. I want to see them get better. I don't want to just chop it off at the head now and then never get to see it, because, I mean, I remember back when there wasn't hardly any anime to watch. You know, you kids and your Crunchyroll and your streaming services and all that stuff, back in the day, sometimes there were just dry seasons where there was nothing that happened and we didn't get to see anything because Toonami wasn't playing as much anime, or, well, not even Toonami, just Adult Swim, Cartoon Network in general. Just, you know, there was a lull for a while, you know, didn't know if we were ever going to see any again. And now anime is so readily available and it's so right there for us to grasp that now that it's evolving, that it's becoming more popular, I'm embracing that. I'm full on embracing that. So I've had like very little slip-ups in this video. Very little tongue twisters in this video. I was doing good there for a second. Almost had it. Almost had a whole video without that. Let me know what you think, guys. I want to know in the comment section below what you guys think of live action anime adaptations. Let me know what you've seen and what you like and what you don't like. Let me know, because I want to check them out. Because I've seen everything from like the new Ghost in the Shell to the Death Note movies back in the day when they made those live action Death Note movies, to the live action Attack on Titan movies, which was... Let me know in the comment section below if you've seen any others. I haven't seen a lot myself because I feel like this is still kind of new, but I know that they made ones for Assassination Classroom and other animes as well that I still haven't checked out. And of course, we have Full Metal Alchemist coming up soon in the future. We have a live action adaptation of Full Metal Alchemist. That should be very, very interesting because that's one of my top favorite animes. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening and watching. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment in the comment section below and have a discussion. I'd love to talk to you guys. Like this video if you liked it, share it, pass it around to your friends, and subscribe if you want to see more content. I much appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Major Crim for Sleep is for the Week.